Welcome. This is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me is Ernie Orange. We have a great show for you guys today. We have a holiday, of course. And if you're out there and you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe now. And if you like the video, go ahead and put it there. And if you don't like our show and then we can do a lot better, go ahead and put it on there. But before we go into what we're going to talk about, because we have the A's, Ohtani, we're going to talk about Freeze. We're going to talk about Rivalry Week, which was not really exploded by the media like it should be. And then we'll go into the Did You Know after all the topics. But let's say hi to Ernie, man. What's up, dude? How's it going? Everything good?
Hey, Carlos, how's everything, man? Happy Father's Day, bro. Happy Father's Day to
Thanks.
everyone that's listening out there. And I hope you guys enjoyed your day and watching some baseball.
Yeah, there was a lot of baseball, man, and including a lot of people that were probably wondering some of these players that were performing good. And one of the players that come to mind, dude, and we're just gonna get into the show, man. We didn't even mention this that we're gonna talk about it, but because it's Father's Day, and this guy went out and got 16 Ks yesterday, dude. And one of those pitchers that doesn't pitch well every start. So when you see these 16 Ks, you're like, what is he doing? Like, what the hell? Like, even for fantasy, you're thinking like, should I pick him up? Should I not pick him up? And you see the 16 Ks, it's pretty incredible, I say.
Hey, Carlos, I know you're kind of upset that you dropped them, aren't you?
Big time, dude. Big time, man.
I know you had him for fantasy, and I know you were kind of bummed out how badly he was pitching. It seemed like every start he has, he just continues to get rocked, man. You know,
Yeah.
Ohtani, Trout took him deep, and every time he goes out there, he's just not getting the ball in his location. But yesterday, he took advantage of a weak Mariners team that has been struggling with the strikeouts, Carlos. The Mariners
Yeah.
have the highest strikeouts in the whole MLB right now, and he took advantage. Unfortunately, he still took the loss, but hey, man, 16 Ks, that's very impressive, and it's kind of unheard of these days, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's true. 16 Ks is not, yeah, like you said. I think the last time I heard someone throw a 16 Ks, I could be wrong, but it's probably I what's his name? Wood from the Cubs back then. I
From
think he
the
threw like 19 or 21 strikeouts. And then you're talking about Mark Pryor. He did the same thing, like 18 strikeouts. So 16 is a huge accomplishment, man. Like you said, he did take the L. It kind of sucks. I do have Jasper on here. How's it going, Jasper? Chewy, how's it going, man? Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you guys hit that like if you guys can. Please, that'll help out a lot. But yeah, Lance Lynn, dude, like this guy has not been pitching well in 2023, which is you can see the ERA is 6.51. He has 4 wins, 8 losses in his career, like 366, which is pretty good if you tell me. But he's been pitching for a lot of teams, dude, and it's kind of crazy that you hear this when it's Father's Day, and let's say like if you're a fantasy like you just mentioned, I dropped him. I didn't have him there, and I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna drop him. But for this start, 16 Ks, it would have got me a lot of points. It would have been a lot better, dude. Chewy just corrected me. Kerry Wood, man, threw 20. Yeah, exactly. 20 strikeouts. I believe that was the last time I heard of anything higher than 16 Ks, which is a huge accomplishment. It's not. It's not
it,
something super easy to do. It's not.
it really
So I mean,
is. And we're
yeah.
approaching almost 20 years since that last happened, Carlos.
Was it?
That is
Was it?
crazy to me. It was in
Dang,
the
that's a
2000s. That's the last time Kerry went through 20 strikeouts. And like you mentioned, Mark Pryor, those Cubs teams are really good, Carlos. It's
right.
so impressive.
The only
Looking
thing that
back now, I'm
happened,
like,
yeah, the bad thing is that it was a steroid era, man. I think that's what it was.
yeah,
I think,
Barry
but
Bonds was
yeah,
just out there doing damage.
Barry Bonds was smashing bombs, dude. One of the things that I just want to say, Chewy, you're on here. I know you're gonna be upset of this one, but the Atlanta Braves organization, since it was Father's Day yesterday, and it was kind of crazy that Charlie Culberson's dad was gonna throw the first pitch, but he got DFA'd the same day, dude. He got DFA'd yesterday. So
What?
then, yeah, they canceled the I guess father Charlie Culberson's dad to throw the first pitch. They canceled it, and yeah, man, they should have waited at least until Monday, till today to do it. But they decided to do it that day, and that's kind of one of those things where it's like, really, like why not wait one day? I mean, it's
Or at
like
least after the game, Carlos. At least right after the game. No, that would have
at
still
least
been
after
bad,
the
right?
game. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a business. I know it has to happen, but like it's like, oh, come on, man. It's it's kind of heartbreaking because you have your dad throwing the first pitch and then you're gonna start the game or whatever. But no, you're told that morning like, hey yo, you got DFA'd and your dad's not gonna be able to throw the ball anymore. So it's like what? You get to your
That's
dad's in
pretty.
the studio,
That's pretty bad.
isn't it? Isn't it? So like
Yeah,
true.
it's
I
like a
know
heartbreaker, man.
yeah, I know you're a Braves fan. Like, what's going on out there in Atlanta, dude? That's not cool, man. You know, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. Yeah, Mitchell, Michael Harris pops through it for sure. He was a backup.
Okay.
It wasn't the guy that was supposed to do it, but he did it
Right. Right.
anyway.
Right.
Um,
So
Jasper, thank you.
interesting.
I know. Jasper, we have some pins, so we'll go ahead and see if I can get them to you, so we can get a PO box and send them to you, so you can have those real talk pins. I should have had it on my hat today, so you guys can see it, but we'll try to get them to you, man, because I know you've been a long listener, and we appreciate that for sure. Um, what would you say that was a low blow? Yeah, it was a low blow, man. But it is what it is. We got more information. It was Father's Day for all those you fathers out there that listen to our show. Happy Father's Day, belated Father's Day. It was yesterday. Today's Monday, and this is a raw, live show. Everything that we say, we can't edit, so it's recorded from here on out. So let's keep
Yep.
on moving, Ernie. I mean, anything else you wanted to add on that, Charlie Culberson, or were you good on that?
Nah, that's a low blow, like Chu said.
Yeah,
That's don't see that from the Braves organization, but what can you expect, man? This is all a business move when it comes to baseball, and these
yeah,
GMs don't really care about your feelings. They're really caring about winning. So,
yeah.
that's how
I
it
mean,
goes
he's his
sometimes.
yeah, his batting average has been low. He hasn't been playing as much, so like they decided to do it on Father's Day, which kind of sucked. But
Hmm.
they're treating it like another day, so it is what it is. All right, let's move on to the next topic. I know a lot of people have been hearing the A's are moving to Las Vegas, and it's been a hot topic all week. And it's one of those things where you start listening to a lot of videos, you start reading articles, and you start looking into the fans are out there, and a lot of people say, oh, the A's don't have a big market out there. Yes, they do. They have a huge market out there. They have a huge fan base, dude. The reason why they haven't gone out to the stadium is because they don't have a good product on the field. Like, how are you going to
Right.
support someone that doesn't want you to be on the field, like supporting them? So, I mean, I don't know. What's your feelings on this, Ernie?
Hey, Carlos, man, what an exciting reverse boycott that we have last week. It felt like a playoff intensity game, Carlos, against the best team in baseball, against the
Yeah,
Rays. And the A's won their 7 games in a row. They show that, hey, the fans are here, bro. Like, we're ready to win. And it's just John Fisher's not bringing the best product out there. You had all these 27,000 fans rocking their old school A's jerseys, Carlos, and they all had like Matt Chapman, Marcus Simeon, Sonny Gray, Sean Murphy.
yeah,
And you guys start looking like, wow, these guys had really talented players out there, and they just got traded away for nothing for a bag of chips, just because
yeah,
John
yeah,
Fisher did not want to pay. The MLB fans are all supporting the Ace fans. I feel like we're all wanting, after watching what happened, I feel like everybody does want Oakland to stay. And if you are going to make
yeah,
a team in Las Vegas, let's just bring in a new expansion team and put it in Vegas, but don't move the A's there, especially with such
yeah.
a historical team that we have there and so many World Series won. Why do you want them to move to Las Vegas?
That sucks. It really sucks for the fan base. And I started thinking about like when the Brooklyn Dodgers and the San Francisco, and not the San Francisco, but the New York Giants moved to California, and they lost their baseball team. Like back in the days, all you had was the radio, the newspapers. You had to go sit down at a freaking, like a theater type, so you can listen to the game. And it sucks now that you have media, you have all these other things that you can see the fans express themselves. And there's so many fans out there that are like, how the hell is it that the owner is being allowed to do this and not spend money on his team? And the other thing is, you have Rob Manfred, where he's the commissioner. He can step in and he could say, you know what, we're not going to allow this to happen. Because in basketball, I believe Stern, he said, we're not going to let the Sacramento Kings leave Sacramento, dude. Like, we're going to keep them there. So he stepped
Yep.
in because I believe they wanted to move the team elsewhere, stay in California, but they wanted to move them. And I think right here, what needs to happen is Rob Manfred needs to kind of step up and be like, you know what, dude, we're not going to be able to make that change because they already lost what 3 4 teams, I believe 3 teams. I don't know how many teams. I know the Raiders went to Vegas. Um, Now
The
you have the
Warriors
big
moved
team
to San Francisco,
to
which is
San
across the bay,
Francisco.
but they still moved Oakland. And
They still,
it was interesting after the game. Rob Manfred this following day gave an interview, and he just seemed like very tone deaf. Carlos, if you ask me, he seemed like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I was excited for the Ace fans, but after the speech, you made it seem like, hey, I don't really care about these Oakland fans. I'm just gonna go to Vegas. That's where the money's at, and that's all I care about. So
yeah,
I feel bad for the fans. It seemed like it was a great moment for them, but it just seems Rob Manfred is all about business, and he doesn't really care what the fans think. He makes some kind of comments that look kind of bad. He was like, well, that's an average attendance for most MLB games, And then the most funniest thing is that the new Ace proposed stadium is only going to hold 30,000 fans. So
yeah.
how much
Which
difference is 2,000 fans? And I don't know, man. Do you really want to watch baseball at 115-degree weather in Vegas in the summer, Carlos? You asked me that.
no, and it looks like it's going to be an open concept stadium. It's not even going to be a dome. So you're going to
Yeah,
be going to 115 degree weather out there, and it's gonna. I don't know, man. I just feel like we already heard it from Rob Manfred saying that it's a piece
I
of
don't know,
metal.
man. The beer better be cheap.
It better be cheap, but you know how Rob
Yeah,
Manfred
you heard me,
already
Carlos.
kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I heard you.
that beer better be $2 because I'm gonna be thirsty all day.
Yeah. Yeah, so we already heard Rob Manfred say that it's a piece of metal. We're talking about the World Series trophy, and that happened in what 27? Oh no, the 2019 World Series before pandemic, when they were investigating the Astros. He said, "Oh, it's just a piece of metal, or whatever." And now he's coming out and saying, "Oh, it's just a 27,000. We get those average fans into a stadium anyway." So it kind of sounds nonchalant. He's not even a baseball guy, dude. I don't believe he's ever played baseball for a professional team. I know he's a business major, and he went to law school out in what do you call it, a Cornell, Ivy League.
Okay.
So I feel like they probably brought him in to shape up the MLB to what it needs to be in the future, which is you're going to have different divisions. You're going to have um, the rules change, which we have already. And you just have those type of bosses where they try to get rid of certain things. They try to move teams to other places so you can realign all these freaking teams together so you can have 4 teams per each division. And we'll see what happens, man. I mean, it sucks for Oakland. I mean, I feel happy it's not happening to my team. I'm pretty sure if it was happening to my
Right.
team, I'll be really upset, more upset than I am now that the A's are might move to Las Vegas because it's not a confirmed thing that it's legit already. But I feel for them, and you're right, dude. There's a lot of people from the MLB, like MLB fans. They're like, "No, we don't. We care about the A's staying in Oakland." But or maybe they can sell the team. They can sell a team to someone
Yeah.
that really wants to invest in that team and put money on the product. I guess put their product out in the field, and for the fans to be happy about that because for the past what I feel Moneyball started in the early 2000s, right? And then you have all these teams
Right.
now that you don't have big common names unless they leave the A's, then they become big players. So now it's just like whatever. It's not a huge product, but yeah, dude, it sucks, man. It sucks. It sucks for them, but we'll see what happens, and hopefully they don't move and Rob Manfred gets the hell out of here. I mean, what commissioner is loved around here? Like football commissioner, they don't like him, right?
Every commissioner gets booed.
Exactly.
No, we all
So
get
like,
booed.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
And I
You're
mean,
gonna say
people booed
something.
him for the rule changes. It's turning out pretty good, but he has 1 year left in his contract, so who knows what's going to happen by then. But Ron Manfred's going to have this say on these Oakland A's. So it's going to be interesting what happens, come this
Yeah,
offseason. But as
yeah,
A's fan, MLB fans, I think we all want John Fisher just to sell the team, and that would be the
yeah.
best for baseball.
It
We
would
want
be
an
the
owner that's
best.
going to bring the best product for even though we don't root for the A's, Carlos, we want
Yeah,
the best product out there. We want to see the best out there in the game. We don't want to see minor leaguers playing in the A's. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's true. And I got a question for you. If they do decide to move, would you go to Oakland Stadium to the Coliseum before
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
before the
definitely.
A's move? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It
I
would it
would
be?
go. It's a quick flight for us here in the West Coast, so why not?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Would it be just
the
any
A's
game, or
now play.
would it have to be the A's? Would it have to be against the Angels?
Uh, No, I think we'll just go to any game. But the Angels are in town, which they do play more often. Why not take advantage
Yeah,
of going to see Shohei or Mike Trout in
yeah.
attendance?
Yeah, that's true.
For
And
sure.
that's still out there, man. Don't If you're a baseball fan and that's on your bucket list to hit all 30 teams, I think before the A's decide to relocate, and it's not the A's fault, I mean, I guess well, it is because the owner is John Fisher, right? And he gets to decide if they get to move. But yeah, could take a flight out there. It doesn't take that long, so we'll see. Oh, see, let's see.
Yeah.
This one. Only the WWE commissioner.
No
That's true.
businessman, huh?
Yeah. Let me just write this down right quick. I need to put it on here. So, just so you know, we are live. If you have questions, go ahead and pop them up in the comment section. If you are on here, go ahead and you haven't hit the like button, go hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Me and Ernie are just going on through the topics of the recap of last week. And yeah, man, it's just one of those things where if we get a comment on here, we take care of the comment first because we want to make it an experience for anybody that gets on here because we like talking, we have the interaction. And most of the people that we've talked to, even when they text us, they're like, I feel like I known you for a while. So I mean, that's cool, man. That's a good compliment, So if we keep going this way, I hopefully we get to 500. We are going to have a raffle. We're going to get a jersey and we're going to raffle that out. So once we get to that 500, though, we'll let you guys know. Let's keep on going with our show, man. I know we have another topic, and this topic's about David Freese. He decides to decline induction into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And this one came a little bit of a surprise to me when I read it, and I felt like he is one of the top Cardinals players, and he was an MVP in 2011 World Series. And I mean, I feel like this guy, ever since he came to the Dodgers, I had him figured out different. Like I thought he was one of those players that didn't play for the team. He was more of like himself, and I saw a different person. Maybe when you see him play every day, as like I did when he was playing with the Dodgers, he was doing really good, dude, and I felt like he was a big presence out there. So, yeah, man, what do you think about this guy? Like, why is he doing this? Like, why do you feel like he feels he doesn't belong in the Cardinals Hall of Fame?
It's strange, Carlos, because the guy does belong, and every Cardinal fan you ask will tell you that he is a Cardinals Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Like you said, he was in huge moments, even with the Dodgers. He surprised me. Surprisingly, with the Angels, he didn't have the best time there with Albert Pujols. Like I feel like he kind of struggled. I feel like every third baseman that goes to the Angels just struggles. That's just a theme. But with the Dodgers, he definitely picked it up. And I don't
yeah,
know, man. He was. I know. I wonder if he has like any personal problems that happened during the time that he was there with the Cardinals that makes him think like, hey, I wasn't a good person, and maybe I don't want to deserve this award. But
yeah,
like you said, he was part of these big moments. In the Game 6 of the World Series with the Cardinals, they were down to their last strike. I'm not sure if you guys remember, and Freese got a triple to send it to extras. And then in
yeah,
I think it was the 11th inning, he hit a walk-off home run. So he's considered a fan favorite for coming clutch in these memorable moments in the Cardinals' history. So I'm just kind of surprises me, Carlos. I don't know why, but I think he also stated that he believes there's other Cardinal players, right? I think you were mentioning that
yeah,
belong in the Cardinals Hall of Fame first before he
yeah.
comes in. So if you're a fan of the Cardinals, how do you think they take it? Like, because the Hall of Fame is voted by the fans, right? So as a fan,
It's
if
voted for the
this player
fans.
was to decline, how would you feel?
Yeah. Me as a fan, I think I would take it like, oh, well, he doesn't want to be, but I want to know why you don't want to be. Is it because there's like Stan Musial, that's big old players, Albert Pujols, and I'm talking about like you're not talking about the old time, Hall of Fame Cardinals Hall of Famers. You're talking about like Albert Pujols. I'm pretty sure he's going to be part of it, and then you have Molina, he's going to be part of it. I'm pretty sure
Right,
Wainwright's going to be
automatic.
part of it. Yeah, automatic. And when you talk about those guys, you cannot not mention David Freese because David Freese is part of those guys. Even though he went to other teams, he still was in that conversation because he did play really well in the World Series. He got them. He was playing good third base for them, and all I remember from him is like him being a young kid. Growing up in St. Louis and hitting that triple, and,
Right.
and then they won the World Series that year, dude. So he was an MVP for the NLCS and the World Series, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And it's interesting, Carl, like you mentioned, he's a born and raised in St. Louis kid, playing for his hometown team. Why not accept the Hall of Fame induction by them? But he
Yeah,
did mention that there are players that were also important in that 2011 World Series, like Matt
yeah,
Carpenter. I'm not sure if you guys remember Matt
yeah,
Holliday. Those guys played a
yeah.
huge role in the 2011 World Series, and he feels that
Of
they
course.
belong over him. Now, David Freese
Yeah,
just did have the big moments in the most clutch times, so,
yeah.
and I think he just feels that those guys belong first. But
I think he's just a little humble, He's just trying to say, like, hey, you know what? There's other people we can vote in. Why are you voting me in right away? Like, maybe vote someone else in, and then maybe down the line you can vote me in, and because maybe it's too soon. It's too soon for him to go into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever it is for him that he doesn't feel comfortable doing it, maybe later he will. So um, David Freeze is a good guy. What's up, Javi? How's it going, man? Uh, everything good over here. I hope everything's good over there on that side. If you haven't hit that like, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe, man. I guess we have a few people on here, and if you have questions, go ahead and put them up there. Like, test our knowledge, man. I love that. I love that.
yeah,
Um, yeah. Let's see. Y'all put in a great show always. There we
Jasper.
go. Thank you, Jasper. That's a good one, man. So, dude, let's keep on going, man. I know what we were talking about, David Freeze. There's other players that feel the same way when they're playing in their teams, but maybe down the line he will be part of that Hall of Fame for the Cardinals, and we'll see as it goes on. Um, Another thing that happened this week, which was one of those things where it wasn't really pushed by media a lot, and the Red Sox Yankees played against each other. You have the Dodgers Giants played against each other, and it wasn't like a huge thing. It wasn't like when the Dodgers played the Padres was a huge deal, and then the Yankees played the Rays. It was a huge deal, and this one
Yep.
wasn't really celebrated. And dude, it was rivalry week. It was sweep week.
Oh, what Carlos? What happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I'm wearing the Red Sox hat because I'm like, all right, well, the Red Sox won. They swept the Yankees, and then
Oh
the
man, I
the, the
brought the LA
Giants.
hat for a reason. I
The
guess I'm
Giants
supporting them in
swept.
the wrong time of the season.
The
Ah
Giants swept
man.
the Dodgers. And look, dude, one of the things that I saw right now is that the Giants scored the most runs ever in this rivalry, and that hurts,
Okay.
man. That really hurts. As a Dodger fan, I just feel like, dang, I really have to do it. Like, but I mean, I guess whatever. It happened. The Dodgers are one of those teams that I feel like their team is not up to par to what the other teams were the previous
Yeah.
years. Right now is one of those things where what's going on? What's going on with the Dodgers? Are they gonna win the division? Are they gonna go into the playoffs? And it's kind of like I don't know, man. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I really do, Carlos. But I think it's not time to panic yet. If you're a Dodger fan out there, there's still plenty of baseball to left, and they're just going through a little injury bug right now. The pitching's kind of in their weakest moment. Starting pitching has definitely been hit hard with injuries, and
Yeah,
they're just bringing these young roster kids, and they're producing, Carlos. But it's just a bullpen, man. A lot of the close games have come down to the bullpen. You've seen the Dodgers the past 2 weeks just go to a lot of extra inning games. A lot of loss on walk-offs. They had the blooper on Friday that Emmett Sheehan had not a perfect game. Sorry, no hitter
a
going
no
into the
hitter.
seventh. Dave Robert pulls them, always being the safe guy. Analytics. You know, I understand Dodgers frustration, fans' frustration sometimes. Roberts
WTF?
always plays it. He
Yeah,
always plays it too safe, man. You threw me out with the WTF, but man,
yeah,
Dave Roberts always messes with the bullpen, and he just never gets to seem to get it right these days. And it's just contagious, man. They're all getting hit right now. Bobby Miller, what happened? He's off to the greatest start ever. Got rocked.
yeah,
Tony Gonsolin as well. But the offense is there, Carlos. So that's a
yeah,
good sign. At
yeah.
least it's not both sides of the ball. It's just pitching, and you're always gonna find arms. You'll find a way to get the solution done. So I'm not worried for the Dodgers, but yes, losing to the Giants, who nobody thought they were going to be, playing this well. Honestly, you look at that roster, you would think what a mediocre team they have out there. And hey, they're competing and they're putting up a fight, which is kind of impressive. And, if you're a Dodger fan right now, I know you're kind of upset, but there's still plenty of time. Just take it easy. And, still plenty of baseball left.
And you know what's crazy? Like, I feel like I'm one of those Dodger fans that feel like I didn't see this team being in the playoffs, and I might have said in the other shows, like, all right, yeah, they're the team that's going to make it. As much as I want to say yes, I do feel confident in this team. I can't say it because we had superstars in the past, and Dave Roberts had superstars in the past. There's a lot of questions on Dave Roberts' part where they say, "Oh, he's not going to be he's not a great coach. He's not, he doesn't know how to coach a bunch of nobodies." Like, dude, if you had a bunch of superstars and you were coaching superstars, of course you're going to get used to that. You're going to get used to people doing the job that they were requested to do. When you have the rookies coming up, of course it's a learning curve, and that learning curve, we don't know how long it's going to take. So Dave Roberts is taking it as he has to. He's a manager. I don't ever call for his head because I know a manager's position is really difficult and really hard. But I do agree that you said he's more of an analytical, kind of like Catchman from Tampa Bay. They're more analytical, analytics, and all that stuff. So maybe that needs to kind of change a little bit. You got to have a little bit of gut feeling as well too, because baseball is a gut feeling as well. Like when you have that gut feeling, oh, you know what, this guy's gonna hit a home run today. Let me put him in the lineup, or little things like that. Let me change up the lineup. Let me do something different. Hey, let's wear high socks, man. We haven't won it. Well, they won the series against the White Sox, but they were losing, like I think they already lost like 3 or 4 series. So let's put our socks up or something. You have a bunch of leaders on that team. But yeah, dude, it sucks for them, and it sucks for the Yankees too, because you're talking about Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge dependence. You said it, which was really cool. I like that name. And this guy's like, he's over there not performing. I mean, the Yankees not performing without Judge, dude. And do you feel like they can come back without him? Because we don't know how long he's going to be out for.
That's true. That's the question. The question mark. We don't know. What the hell are in charge in our show?
Yeah.
What the
right here,
look, a bunch of curveballs over here. Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at this gap in his teeth.
This is the gap.
Yeah. Say that, but...
yeah.
Hey man, the Yankees are hitting their lowest part of the season right now. They just can't hit it offensively, Carlos. Seems like Judge is out right now. They just can't get their timely hitting. They have the hitters, Carlos, but every player in that lineup has been coming off injury recently. Somehow they've been in some type of IL stint, and they just can't seem to get the right hits at the right moment. The Red Sox taking them out, that's kind of a low blow for them. They just don't seem to know what they're doing out there. Aaron Broom, he has trust in these players, but he says, like, one player should not make a difference in his team, but it looks that way these days. And I don't know what's going on. They keep optioning Osvaldo Cabrera. They got rid of Aaron Hicks, so they could be using that hot at bat right now. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm really worrying for the Yankees. And if you ask any Yankee fan in New York right now, and Twitter, you look at anything Yankee related, those fans don't even trust that the Yankees can make any moves come October. Like, they don't think they could even win. So they don't have the roster out there. They spend a lot of money on Judge, and that's the problem now, Carlos. Once you got to pay the big man, how are you going to pay to keep depth in your lineup? So that's always a big issue. And, he's also not hitting. So now you could pitch stronger to Stanton and Rizzo. They're not really putting numbers out there. Stanton, I think, just came off injury and is batting .211 batting average. That's not going to cut it for your second star in your lineup. So
yeah.
You think, man, are you worried for these Yankees?
I'm worried about the Yankees. I am, because I felt like Nestor came out saying that, it's not the same rivalry as it was before, like against the Red Sox. So it's not something that we're worried about. And you just got swept by the Red Sox. That's like, what the hell just happened? Like, so for the Yankees, I feel like the Yankees need to. I just feel like they need to regroup, and someone needs to step up. I know Aaron Judge is the captain, and he's the captain for a reason. You just don't get chosen because you got the big contract on the team. No, it doesn't work that way. You can see the people be confident for them. You can see, his leadership, kind of like you see these things with certain players with certain teams. You see them kind of like bickering at other players and having them step up and giving speeches and stuff like that. So Aaron Judge has that. So maybe one of these players from that team in the Yankees needs to step up. You have a lot of players, dude, that can do that. You have Stanton. Yeah. Stanton can step up and do that. You have Garrett Cole.
Josh Donaldson.
I know. Yeah.
Josh Donaldson. David Torres, DJ LeMahieu. These are all guys that could hit and have power too, Carlos. So it just shocks me that they just see that one big guy, their captain's not there, and they just can't compete.
Yeah.
They need their captain out there, man. And Carlos Rodon's coming back. I know he's currently in the minors working, trying to get back to the majors. Who knows how that back's going to respond. And then, Nestor Cortez doesn't seem like he'll be back till after the All-Star break.
after the
It's
All-Star break.
just
Yeah.
not looking great for the Yankees right now. And hey, man, a lot of teams are struggling, and I'm not sure what's going on right now. If we would have predicted this back in March, I think we're all wrong, all MLB fans,
Yeah.
man. But that's the beauty of baseball, and we never know, Carlos.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy too. Like, I believe there's a lot of injuries, but I'm not giving that excuse for the Dodgers because I feel like injuries, yeah, they take a toll on your team. But you do have your minor leaguers that are ready to move up, and this is their time to step up and play better. And they're not doing anything good. But at the same time, there is a lot of injuries on the Dodgers team, and then you have the Yankees that have a lot of you have the big time injury that we kind of feel like it's the big hit. So moving along, man, like I feel like these are the three teams that got swept this weekend, and we have one more, the A's. I didn't add them on here because they don't have the same record, but you see these teams, and all these teams are predicted to win their division. All these three teams are predicted to go further or far into that playoff. You have the Astros, 39-33. They're going to play the Mets, which the Mets are another team that are not doing so well, but they're not 500 baseball right now. You have the Dodgers. They're going to go face the hot Angels right now, which I feel the Angels can take advantage of this and can show a big time, like what do you call it? They can show the nation and everybody like, hey, we're here and we're for real this year, and we're gonna keep playing
Yeah.
baseball, and we're gonna show it up. And then you have the Yankees, like we just mentioned. They got swept by the Red Sox. Now they're going to play against the Mariners. The Mariners have been striking out a lot, like you mentioned, and it's going to suck, if they don't win this series. But the Astros we haven't talked about, and there's a lot of pitching injuries in that clubhouse, and a lot of people say, oh, well, the Astros are just a hangover, like World Series and this and that. Like, even though the Astros are hated by so many people, I feel like the Astros, for some reason, I feel like they've lost a little bit because they are tired from last year, but this year they have a lot of injuries, dude. It's not something where you can say, "Oh, the Astros are not playing good baseball because they don't have a trash can." Like, no, let's get over that. They're not playing good baseball because they have a lot of injuries. You have Altuve
Yeah.
that got hit in the hand. He got hit in the hand, and he's not gonna come. He's not ready for it. Are you scared for the Astros? That you are an Angel fan, Ernie, and I know you see the Astros. They're on top of you guys. Are you guys tied in the standings with them?
We're actually a game above the Astros right now. The
So
Angels are
second
41 and
place.
33. So the
So
Angels
you
have
guys are in
moved up to
second.
second place, and I am starting to worry for the Astros, Carlos. They did mention last week they lost Lance McCullers for the season.
WTF?
Sorry,
Jose
I just had to.
Urquidy is also not coming back anytime soon. The pitching
Yeah,
is just being banged up right now, and you guys know when the team goes deep into the playoffs the following season, it's always hard for the next year pitchers to come back and be healthy. It has happened to the Dodgers in the past, and it's just a common thing in baseball. But now with all these rule changes, Carlos, have you noticed that these much older teams are struggling these days?
yeah,
I'm not sure if you noticed, but like the teams that have had like a lot of more minor league players in their roster this year from last year are performing much better. You got teams like the Giants, Pirates, Marlins, and D-backs that have majority of their minor league players in their lineup now. And since they had it back then in AAA last season, they're performing so much better, Carlos. So I don't know what it is, man, but this new rule changes is affecting much of these older players.
yeah. It
So
is, and that's the thing that's gonna kind of affect when the Dodgers start playing, or the Dodgers and the Astros and the Yankees start playing into August. Are we gonna have all these pitchers ready to go? And for the Astros, like, it's one of those things where they have so much hate in the last few years, and it's gonna suck for them. If they don't make playoffs this year, it's gonna suck for them if they don't get all their players back onto the field like they've had before in the previous years. But we'll see what happens as it goes on. Um, we still have the whole month of what is it? Where are we on June? We're in June. We're not even done
we're
with
in
June.
Carlos.
Yeah, I was about to say
Well, I mean,
July, but once June finishes, you still have the full month of July, and then you can decide if you're going to be a seller or you're going to be a buyer. And for these teams right now, is looking like they're buyers, but who knows when it comes to the end of July, because that's when they have the trades and stuff like that. But we'll see. Let's see what happens. But yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks, dude. It sucks. Injuries suck. Injuries suck. And I do want to
they could
mention they're
definitely
not
ruin
on
the
here.
season.
Definitely, dude. And I do want to mention, since we did talk about the Dodgers and the division and stuff like that. We've been talking about the Padres, dude. The Padres, they won another series and they won it against the Rays. I told you, it's not one of those teams that are not gonna go away without a fight. And I feel like they're kind of playing around, dude. They're playing around with everybody's emotions, everybody's critics, and I just feel like this team is gonna be, they're gonna make it deep into the playoffs. Like remember this show and remember the day, time, whatever. Take a picture. When I
Yep.
said this, they are gonna play good baseball. They're playing good baseball already. You got Tatis that can be the MVP. He's been playing MVP type of player this year. He came back and he's just like on fire. So mark my words with
There's
the
another team,
Padres.
Carlos.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
another
yeah. Go
team
for it.
that's been creeping up quietly in the NL East, and it's the Philadelphia Phillies. They've also been playing really well baseball out there. The month of June,
Yeah,
they just turned it around. Trey Turner has finally get some base hits and getting finally on base. So,
yeah,
and Bryce
yeah,
Harper, they have a pretty good team out there. There's a lot of
yeah,
question marks if they're going to be buyers. And, they made a strong push last year. They went out there and got some pitching and some kind of hitters for the playoffs, and it turned out really well for them. And they made a deep run. So don't be surprised if this team comes creeping up again and tries to sneak into a wild card spot and just goes deep.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So these are two teams that last year faced for the NLCS, and right now they're paying almost like 500 ball. And but don't be surprised. NL wild cards open to anybody, and with the Dodgers struggling out there, you got a young Giants team, a young Diamondbacks team. How serious can they keep this up? That's another question mark. And I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting fall, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, dude. Once we get into the I guess the trading part of baseball, which is kind of one of those big things for baseball fans, that what players went to what teams decided to be buyers, what teams decided to be sellers. So I can't wait for that day, because that's one of those days where like you're on your phone all day looking at like, oh damn, he got traded there, like really. So it's just
Definitely.
I guess it's one of those things where baseball fans are just like, it's kind of Christmas for them,
It's one
right?
of It's one of the most
Yeah,
fun times of the week. We should definitely make a trade deadline show a day of. That would be fun to go live.
that will really fun. So we'll probably do that. I've already talked to Will. He said he's down for it. Everybody's down for it, so we can probably do that and get on there. We can get on there after
We could do a
everything
combined
is said
show
and
and do
done.
like
Yeah, after
yeah, because
everything
I
is
think
said
the
and
trade
done,
deadline
we
tends
can do that. What
I think the
happened?
trade deadline tends to be on a Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken. It usually ends by 5 p.m. Thursday, so Eastern time. So
Yeah. So
definitely
which is
capable. We
three.
could do a show.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. Let's jump into it, man. We'll definitely give all the trades, and you can comment
Uh,
on here, and we'll put your comment on here for sure. All right, we reached the
for
part of the
sure.
show that we're here for the Did You Know, and this Did You Know, it's on
No,
Ernie. You want
wait,
me to
Carlos.
post the picture?
You
Yeah.
forgot to talk
Oh,
about the GOAT, Shohei Ohtani. What are you talking about? We have a huge
we
segment of Shohei.
Good
Wait,
thing you
wait,
remind
wait.
me, man. I'm over here going into the Did You Know, but I did forget about Ohtani. My bad. He is an angel and he is a big time player. He's a home run king right now. He's leading
He's
in
a home
home
run king. He's
runs
the hottest
everywhere.
player in baseball.
Yeah, he's over there hitting bombs every day.
So if you
That's
guys don't
exciting,
know
right?
Shohei Ohtani, yeah, it is. Shohei, it should have been the main topic if you ask me. Carlos should have been
Yeah.
the first topic of the show. You
You
put
think he
it to
should have
the
been?
end. I
He
can't
should have
believe
been
you did
the.
that.
He should have been the centerpiece on I guess on the picture. Is that what you're
Oh
telling
yeah,
me?
why not?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
good, man. Shohei Ohtani, he's out there hitting 24th home run yesterday in 74 games. Now I ask you this: would he hit 50 this year? He's capable of hitting 50 home runs, Carlos. That would be
Is he on pace for
such an
that?
impressive feat to do. I
Is he
mean,
on
he's already
pace
at
to hit 50?
24 and 70.
Wow.
He's not even halfway into the season, and he's already hit 24.
Dang.
He's hit 7 home runs in the past 10 games, and he's made an impact in the Angels. The thing that's been the most impressive this year, Carlos, out of all these other years that he's pitched and bat, I just think he's been so much clutch and these big moments when it comes to the 8th, 9th inning, extra innings. He's been getting home runs, extra base hits, and the most important part of the game. And that's Angels right now lead the league, I'm not mistaken, with the most comeback wins. I think they're at 22 or 23 comeback wins this season. They're
Wow.
doing it quietly. Shohei's playing a big part of it. Mike Trout's actually having his worst season, but Shohei's backing him up and, making sure that, don't worry. So now I question myself, how great can the Angels be if Mike Trout's playing well and so is Shohei Ohtani at the same time?
That's crazy because I know Mike Trout is having his off year. It's an off year, even though he is on pace to hit 30 plus home runs. It's one of those things where you
Hmm.
kind of like are not expected to see Mike Trout do that. Even last year when he was injured for I believe 2 months, he still hit 40 home runs. So now he hasn't been on the IL, and he's not producing the same way he has before. So the back problem definitely is an issue for him. He probably doesn't want to come out and say, "Oh, my back." He doesn't want to give excuses. He's out there. He's doing good. I feel like if he was like you said right now, if he was there playing good baseball and was like batting up to 300, hitting 20 home runs right now, and doing what he needs to do, dude, the Angels will be probably in first place because you're talking about the Rangers being on top of them, but the Rangers are kind of on a slow decline, and I feel like the Rangers. We talked about it a few times too, where I feel like if the Rangers go out and make a big trade for an outfielder or even for a bullpen piece, the Rangers could move a little bit away from the Angels. But then you're talking about the Angels going to get some players for Ohtani and Trout, and that's dangerous because now you're talking about the best player in baseball having a little bit of more um, room to kind of strike out, ground out, whatever, if you get a bigger piece on that lineup. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that they're not hitting or anything like that, but you do need that. And then you go out and get another pitcher. Lance Lynn, we were just talking about him earlier, right? He might not be that
Hmm.
expensive. But he's not really a pitcher that a lot of people are saying, oh, he's not that good. Why do they want him? But 16 Ks yesterday it shows that he does have it. He probably just needs that right pitching coach, and maybe the Angels have it.
Exactly.
So that will cost cheap. It will be really cheap to get him. I'm pretty sure he's not pitching the way
Definitely.
he should be pitching. So or
But
am I wrong? Am I wrong?
no, you're definitely right, Carlos. And I'm just enjoying every game I watch of the Angels these days. I know that this may be possibly Shohei's last year with the Angels. He is going to get a huge contract next season, up to 500 million. We all know that's a fact. Now it's going to
Yeah.
be the question: who's going to pay him that? He is about to turn 29, so I'm expecting a 10-year contract with him. This is definitely his best season right now, Carlos. I've never seen him play this great. This is an MVP season right now, without a doubt. I don't think no one's as close to him. And I asked
Mhm.
myself this, Carlos, he's going to change. He's revolutionizing the game, Carlos. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of guys out there learning from Ohtani. You look at Little League these days, the best player tends to know how to pitch and knows how to bat.
Yeah.
All these kids going forward these days, Carlos, are going to look up to Shohei and be like, why can't I do both and play in the MLB?
Yeah.
They're coming,
Exactly.
Carlos. In the next 10,
Exactly.
15 years, don't be surprised if these new Shohei Ohtanis are out there. And it's going
Yeah.
to happen, Carlos. I know a lot of people bash him because they're like, he's no Babe Ruth. And I'm like, and we have an image for Babe Ruth later on to show you guys. And if you
Yeah.
see his at bat, you ask yourself, I don't see nothing special. But at that time, the talent level in baseball was totally different, Carlos. At that time, Babe Ruth was a great, all-time great.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
talking about today's players, they're competing against one of the top best all over the world, Carlos.
Yeah.
You got guys from Japan, all Latin America, USA. The World Baseball Classic exemplified how great the game is now and how talented these players are.
Yeah.
So, man, as an Angel fan, it's just as an MLB fan, I think everybody should just enjoy Shohei, and it's one of the greatest times that we had in baseball. I don't recall a memorable season since the past 5 years like that. So we should just appreciate the game, and hopefully Shohei and Trout could be in the playoffs. That would be such a great time and good time for baseball.
Yeah, and you know what? You just said it right there. Something about that we should appreciate seeing this type of baseball because I've mentioned this a lot of times on our show and previously when we first started doing this, we talked about Barry Bonds. We did not appreciate his at bats when it was happening. Steroids aside and everything aside, because everybody was doing steroids in that era. We did not appreciate his at bats coming into those seasons, and you kind of look at those things and you're like, damn, you kind of regret not taking them some more games, right? Now you're looking at Ohtani and you're looking at how he's beasting on pitching and in hitting. And it's one of those things where you do only see those type of things in Little League. So he's
Mhm.
playing Little League baseball in the major leagues. How difficult that is. It's the top of the world, and he's doing everything he can to be that one player that you want to see pitch and hit. And I believe last week he pitched and he hit a home run. How many times have
Yeah.
he's done that when he's pitched?
I
That's
think just the
incredible.
season alone, he's done it 3 times already, Carlos. He's put
Yeah,
himself on the lead. Like, they're down and he brings them back to tying or at least giving them the lead. How impressive is that is? We never
yeah.
hear about this. I remember
No,
seeing it happening with Kershaw one year, and I thought that was so cool. And that's
yeah.
before the Shohei Ohtani ever came to baseball. But, man, he's revolutionizing the game, and I don't know what to tell you, Carlos. This guy's the greatest hitter. And I'm not going to say he's the greatest hitter ever in baseball, and I don't want to say he's the greatest pitcher, but who the heck could say he could do both? Like, what other player out there that says that? I know Babe Ruth did it, but he never really did both at the same time, and that's where
It's
I
different.
question.
Yeah, and then not only that, you're talking about his time and his era to now. Like that era back then was way different than it is now. Like you had a bunch of like players that didn't play in the league. You have a bunch of different nationalities now that you didn't have back then. You have a bunch of people that play like super far in the country or super deep into the country. Because remember, baseball was played out in the East. It wasn't even focused so much out here in the West. That's why they brought those teams out here from New York to the West so they can expand baseball throughout the whole nation. So you're looking at different eras, you're looking at different things, and you're looking at internet has a lot to do with it. This kid is he's 14 years old, throwing 100 miles per hour. Let's go sign him. Like you see it on the internet. That didn't exist back then. So yeah, Babe Ruth was great, and we're giving him his credit, but it's a different era. As time goes by, we might see something in the future when we're super old that is better than Ohtani. Like that's going to be something crazy. Imagine a player playing shortstop and he's going to pitch the next day, hitting bombs. That's going to be
so
incredible.
Cool. Right? Think about it. Ohtani doesn't play in the field, but what if this guy knows how to play third base and has a great arm from third? And then he pitches the next day. What the hell? That would be so impressive. What just made me think that would actually be better than Ohtani.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. The game is evolution. I guess the evolution part of the game is happening with in our generation, which is really cool, really awesome. And don't take it for granted. If you can go see an Angel game, you should go see Ohtani because it doesn't matter what team you root for. Appreciate the player when you see the player. It's not something where you're going to see him every year because you don't know. It might this year. He might. Let me knock on wood, but
right.
What if he gets injured? You won't be able to see that type of stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we see the Angels go to the playoffs with Ohtani and Trout because we do want to see Trout have a better, stat than the one that he's had previously, or still has because it's that 1 for 11, I believe, and that's not good. But we'll hear as the year goes on. Hopefully they do make the playoffs. Let's go ahead and move on, man. We do have the did you know portion, and now I can say the did you know. I didn't want to miss the Ohtani one, the Angels, but we do have a video clip here, and this video clip is from back then, and they went in and they fixed it. They added the sound correctly and they sped it up because back in the days talking about the 30s, 40s, when there was film, there wasn't that many, I guess pixels or whatever. And now they fixed the film and it's pretty cool, man. When I saw the video, I'm like, what? This is amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video and we're going to talk over the video, but so we can, discuss what's going on here. There you go. Babe Ruth turning his head. You saw that? Turning his head. Yeah. That's crazy. Can you guys hear that? They pretty much fixed the video so you can hear the sound and you can see the video real time. This is how fast it would go and hitting practice.
Luke Barrett comes up next. That guy look big, Carlos.
They look big, dude. They're pretty big.
Got a massive back, dude. That little guy look like he's strong.
Exactly. Dang.
That was a cool video. Cool video, Carlos. It's cool to go back in time and see a live footage of them taking batting practice.
Yeah.
And after just watching Luke Gehrig right now, I'm like, dude, this guy could destroy bombs the way he looks.
See how big his back is, though?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. His traps are just like massive. There's no MLB player looking like that these days. I'll tell you that. Mike Trout looks the closest, possibly.
Yeah.
But
He's a little tank. Hey, Mike Trout's a little tank, dude. What you talking about? He's
yeah, he
pretty
has like
built.
no neck. Looks like he's kind of buff.
He could play football, man. That's why he's over there wearing the. When he goes to Eagles, he's like, "Put me in, coach. I can play."
Yeah, for sure. That guy's pretty big. Him and Stanley are him, Stan and Judge are the biggest, I think, guys in baseball for sure. I would say.
Puig was one of the big ones too, man. Remember Puig was
Dude, that guy was
massive.
strong. He was a bit
Yeah.
shorter, but I think he would have been a great running back if you asked me.
Hell yeah, dude.
Feel like
Pretty
stopping
big.
him, right?
Yeah. You know what I just saw about in this video? I saw that Beirut gave Lou Gehrig his bat. They're like, these two
Oh,
share
really?
bats back then. Yeah. So he
What?
gave him the bat and was like, here you go. Like, it's your turn. I'm just gonna step to the side. Do you know why they would wear their numbers? Like number one will be the first batter, number two will be the I just gave it out, man. I just gave out the answers.
Ah,
But
that's
did
why.
you know that? Did you know that?
I actually did not know that, Carlos. Wow, that
No?
was pretty cool.
Yeah. So they would wear the number they were batting in. So if they were batting number one, they would wear number one. If they were batting two, you had the number two player, and then you had number three, and so on. So that's why Babe Ruth was number three, because he would bat third in the lineup, and Lou Gehrig number four because he would bat fourth in the batting lineup. So as you can see on the video, you did see that they didn't have their last names. It's because I believe that they didn't have, or they didn't believe that they needed to know what player it is. If you look out and you look at the number, you're like, oh, that's Babe Ruth, or that's
Okay.
Lou Gehrig, So that's why the Yankees still don't put their last name on the jerseys. You have other teams that I believe the Dodgers were the first team to do the last names on the jersey, and they just continued on. I believe I believe like a few years ago they decided to take it off, right, or something like that. I've
The
heard.
Dodgers did it one season where they did take it off. I did not like
Yeah,
it. It was
me
just
neither.
weird. It was back in the
Yeah,
2000s. I was a kid, Carlos, and I hated
yeah,
it because I didn't know who these players were. Like like you said, the
yeah.
players by number, right? But once they get hurt and they bring a backup, now you're like trying to figure out who this guy is. Like, who's the number 12 for the Dodgers with no name in his back? Like, how am I supposed to know who that guy is?
Yeah,
And social media wasn't that big back in the days, Carlos. So it was
it
hard to
wasn't.
know who it was.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
social media plays a big part on how people are educated these years. I used to be the baseball card. You used to go buy baseball cards, and you're like, oh, look the stats. You look at all that stuff, and at least like me and my brother used to do that. It was really cool. Like, like he has a big old thing of baseball cards, right? And it's like, if you go and I could probably look for the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. He probably has it, but he has so many cards that it's kind of hard to find all these things. But I know there's money in there. I just got to look for those things, but we'll see.
But
Yeah,
that's it,
we'll see.
Carlos.
All right. So you want to go into the did you know section?
All right, yeah,
Ready?
let's go do that. I also have a little bit of Yankees history right here.
Okay,
If
go for
you're a
it.
huge Yankee fan or MLB fan in general,
Uh-huh. Go
so
for it.
I'm not sure I have a picture. I'm not sure if you're trying to show it, but this is
Right
a
there.
picture of one of the Yankee players back in the 1930s. His name was Tony Lazzeri. I'm not sure if you guys know, but Yankees has played over 18,000 games in Yankees history. And there's only one time we saw something special in the June 3rd, 1932 game against the A's. This guy, Tony Lazzeri, he hit a natural cycle, Carlos. It means
What?
that he hit a single, double, triple, and then a home run in that order.
Okay.
And then in the same game, Lou Gehrig is the only Yankee to ever hit 4 home runs in a game. Both of these events happened in that same game, Carlos.
I'm
And
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that got overshadowed. I'm pretty sure that got overshadowed by
It did.
the cycle. I bet.
And looking back, when I was looking into it, Carlos, I couldn't really find which one they thought was more important. But that natural cycle has only happened 14 times in baseball history, Carlos. The last time to happen was Gary Matthews in 2006. So I don't know. It's like when you play poker or you play like these card games and you get a royal flush and you get it all by color and number. That's how it feels like, right? What are the chances of you getting a single, double, triple, and then a home run, and then another batter, Lou Gehrig, hitting 4 home runs, the only Yankee ever to do that? So what an impressive thing that ever happened that day, June 3rd, 1932, against the A's. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the score was like 20-15. So, I just wanted to bring a little bit of Yankees history there. It's a cool moment if you think about it. This was to happen today with social media, Carlos. Dude, this would blow up. It would be one of the greatest moments of the year, if you ask me.
And you are talking about it happened with a single, double, a triple and a home run happen in line, right? Because we just had
Right.
one not too long ago where I guess it was the catcher from the Phillies. I'm trying to remember his name.
Ichiro Muto.
Yeah, JT Remuto, he hit a for the cycle, and yeah, man, that's impressive. Like, it's not something easy to do. Like, I don't think I've ever hit one of those, even in little league. And, like you can be the greatest player in little league and still not hit for the cycle. But now hearing it in major leagues, that's impressive. And you said
Yeah,
there was
man.
only 16 players have done that before.
It's only happened 14 times. Yeah, the
14 times,
last time was 2006.
2006, and you said Gary Matthews, or who was it?
Yep,
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Well, that was a
Gary
did you know
Matthews.
portion.
Yeah,
Gary
Gary's.
Matthews.
Yeah,
There we
known for his one of his the best catches ever. I
go.
think his name was Gary Matthews Jr. I think that's his real name. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
Junior.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is, dude. So look, man, we ready to through the did you know? If you guys
All
have
right.
any questions, go ahead and put them on the comments. If you have anything to say or want to reach us, we do have a Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have a TikTok, we have a Twitter account. We even have an email address if you want to go ahead and send things to us. But um, once we reach the 500 subscribers, we are going to give out a jersey so you guys can put it on there. And there's other things we want to go ahead and put for our show because I've talked to Will. He was out here this weekend. He was vacationing in California. He's from
Oh
Pennsylvania, so
shit.
he's out here, and we'll put that out there once we confirm it with all the guys and everything moving forward. But for sure, we're really excited and happy that there's a lot of subscribers now, and we're moving in the right direction. We reached that point in time right now that we're going to log off. But, before we do, I want to give Ernie his last mentions before we do that. Any last mentions, Ernie?
All right. Yeah, so there's a couple news that has just happened within the last couple hours. I just wanted to let you guys know if you are watching. Luis Arias just went 5 for 5 today and is back at batting 400. So that's another news.
Wow.
Joey Bottle is finally back. It took almost a year to come back from shoulder injury,
Yeah.
and he just hit a home run in his first game at back. So watch out for them Reds. They're coming.
Joey Votto back in that lineup is going to be amazing, dude. I mean, they're really, really, really good, dude. I think I lost Ernie here, man.
Cut off there.
Yeah, you cut off. You cut off. You said Joey Votto. He hit a home run today. He came back from surgery, right? Shoulder surgery. I mixed up the words. But if there's not anything, I think I lost them. But I'll just go ahead and say that thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't hit that subscribe or that like, please do so. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Ernie Orange, Real Talk Baseball, signing out.